India end their dominant campaign by scoring 400 and another big win for them. Welcome to the shiny side. I'm your host, Fareez Shah, and we have with us once again, Qazi Umair Ali. How are you doing, Qazi?
Hi, Fareez. Thank you for having me. Pleasure as always.
Good stuff. To get things rolling, why don't you do the 30-second summary of today's match, Qazi? Go for it.
Happy to. So, as you said, India dominated, kept their number one position in the group. Two performances to watch out for, and we'll discuss both these performances. I think the 100 by KL Rahul was quite special today. 60 runs, 60 ball or 100 is always special. Shah Iyer also, he's been a great find for India in this tournament. Got another 100. And then what really impressed me, at least insofar as the Netherlands were concerned, was that they got those 250 odd runs. South Africa couldn't manage 100. Sri Lanka couldn't manage 60 odd. So kudos to them. And yes, one more thing, the Indian, tried out like 9 bowlers today, including Kohli himself, Rohit and Sky as well. So I think obviously we all knew 410 is too much. Indian dominated match, and again, well done to the Netherlands for at least getting to 250.
Good stuff. 55 seconds, not too bad. So I guess to get into the things, India won the toss and batted. And I was thinking about this before the game. I said, it's Diwali. If India wants to treat their fan, they better bat first, and so that they can actually watch them bat for 40, 50 all overs. And it was quite a treat for the fans, I'm sure.
Yes, they started off again in their similar fashion that they have the entire tournament. Got like, I think, 100-run opening partnership. Then Kohli came in and he was up to his usual good, got 50 odd. But I think the star of the show today was KL Rahul. He really took over Shah Iyer's inning as well, who actually came into bat earlier. But like you said, big Diwali bonus for the Indian fans.
So
200.
It was an unusual one where all top 5 got a 50 plus, and they had a 100-run opening partnership, 12 overs, 100 runs with Rohit and Gill. Once they got out, it slowed down a little bit, but they lost a third wicket when Kohli got out at 200 in 29 overs. So in the next 21 overs, they made about 210. They basically scored at 10 runs and over in the last 21. And that was obviously KL Rahul's knock you mentioned and Shreyas Iyer. And that partnership was basically 200 runs.
200 runs, yes. And if I may just point out here, India are obviously spoiled for choice here. They look at their bench strength. You've got Ishan Kishan sitting outside. I think he warrants a place. Shah Iyer has done really well for himself. But here's the question. Is Hardik Pandya going to be fit for the semi-final? If he will,
I believe he's out. I believe he's out for sure.
He's out. He's completely out. Then I think Shah Iyer continues. Otherwise, the only other change I saw that was coming through was Sky not having performed so greatly in this tournament. He could have been the replacement with that current lineup. Otherwise, I think they're okay.
Do you think India should have tried giving a game or two to a couple of players, or because they've been playing the same 11 for the last 4 games? So if they're in a position where somebody's injured and they need to come in for the semi or final, whoever comes in will become very, very cold. So do you think they did the right thing by sticking to the same 11, or were they better off trying a couple of people?
No, I honestly thought they would try Ashwin out today because they have the 2 spinners who are bowling beautifully, both Kuldeep Yadav and Jadeja. And because they were playing a minute today, it was confirmed, that they were through. I think they could have tried 3 spinners in, especially with New Zealand and now in the semi-final. They normally tend to struggle against spin, so they could have tried, the 3 spinner combo. But I think they've stuck to their strengths. I don't think they'll change now. They'll continue with this side.
Yeah, I have to ask you about what you think of Iyer and KL. Obviously batted really well, right? But a lot of the runs have come either against weaker sides or once Rohit and Kohli have actually built a platform. So India used to be over-reliant on Kohli and Rohit. Would you still say that is a concern? Or do you think they all are now almost equally reliable?
I look at it slightly differently. I think India was and probably still is reliant on at least Rohit to give them a start. But I think a lot of credit has to go to Shubman Gill as well. You see, he's taken that opening role so responsibly that he ensures a good start. He's not struggled throughout the tournament at all. He's never looked, even against Pakistan, the way he got out, It was actually a very beautiful shot. It just, got stuck into Shadab's hands. So I think a lot of credit to Shubman Gill. And having just to answer your question, I think post the World Cup, if Rohit or Virat are to, now retire and go into the shadows, I think Shubman, Shahryar Ayar, Ishan Kishan, KL Rahul, they've all, sort of stepped up. Yes, they've been backed by good opening, stands and all, and by Kohli and all setting the scene. But they've performed. It's one thing being given that opportunity, and it's another performing, and they've performed consistently.
Yeah.
This criticism of them playing against weaker teams. Well, I guess what Pakistan had the same opportunity. They didn't do so. They couldn't complete 50 overs. So it's a little unwarranted. Let's, celebrate them.
If you look at the Netherlands, I mean, you touched upon this. They were 5 for 1, and I was thinking, is this another 50 all out? But then they basically had partnerships. They were 66 for 2. Eventually, they were what? I think 145 for 144 and so on. So they got to 250, which is, like you said, is more than what South Africa and Sri Lanka both, more than both their scores combined, really. So decent batting performance by them, right?
That's also more than what Pakistan got against them. Don't forget, it was 190.
That is true, actually.
So I think, it's decent. You see, again, the Netherlands, like Afghanistan, have been the story of this tournament. I think the Netherlands also deserve a lot of credit. Today they showed that it doesn't matter whether you've lost or not. They almost completed their entire quota of 50 overs. Now, that's something these big teams have struggled to do. South Africa couldn't manage it against them. Sri Lanka obviously couldn't. Pakistan generally failed against most teams in trying to complete their 50 over, and that was the run rate issue. And, Faris, I think we also need to talk about, teams speaking too early and all. And there's a lot of chatter about, and we as Pakistanis are always concerned that if they do well in the first 5, they might not do so well. I think this is now very old thought, It's for 2 World Cups we've seen consistently Pakistan not qualifying. There was not much difference between Pakistan and New Zealand, but it's that run rate. New Zealand got to 400 against us. They got to 385 almost against Australia, and that's what kept their run rate up. Yeah. So this chatter of, now there's a lot of talk about the Indian team peaking too early. They haven't had a bad day at the office.
I mean, I don't think this is a Pakistan chatter, because I think a lot of the Indian media is asking the same question. So I'm not saying it's warranted, but I'm just saying it's not a Pakistan question. But
if the Indian team is setting such high standards, I think they have to look to Australia in 2003 and 2007. They got through the tournaments without losing anything. So why can't India do it? It's just 2 games away. They've beaten New Zealand in the group stages. Why can't they, pull up another victory?
Before we move on, quick comment from you on Pakistan's exit. And I know it's a very big topic and we could be here for 2 hours, but a quick comment. What's your thought now that we're officially out, and where do you see the team going from here?
Look, there are no quick fixes. Pakistan needs to go back. We need to first fix our cricketing board. You see, there's a lot of instability therein. I've been saying this. I've been part of petitions in court. Until and unless you have a chairman who was posted and who is held accountable for his actions. When I say accountable, what I mean is that currently the chairman of the Pakistan Cricket Board is an honorary post. No one gets paid for it. And it really boggles my mind as to why would it be the most coveted post after the PM in Pakistan if you're not getting paid for it. And I think the answer lies within us. We as a nation are now used to setting such low standards that we get anyone in, someone who's got no cricketing background, maybe, at times a corrupt background, whatever it is. I think we need to now go back and fix our cricketing board first. If there's stability from the top, it will reflect in the entire team. Every time a chairman changes, the entire team gets affected by it. A new setup comes in, a new chairman selectors, a new selection committee is in, a new coaching staff. I mean, just look at your recent example. Mickey Arthur was nowhere in the picture 6-8 months ago, and then all of a sudden Ramiz Raja went out, Najam Sethi came in, he said, no, nothing doing, Mickey Arthur has to come. And then Mickey came in, and now we have another chairman, Zakashif, and now he wants... so, we need to go back to the drawing board. We need to fix issues, because otherwise, you and I both know the Australian series is next month. We might wake up by 8 in the morning to see Pakistan at 65 for 5.
We will. But look, I think I like the answer you gave, because it's not the answer people like talking about, but it's the real answer, right? That's the real problem. Like until you fix the board, you can change the captain, change the coach, etc. But all of this is like won't really change too much in the long run.
No.
But okay, good stuff. I guess before we finish up, very quickly, I would love to hear your predictions for the semi-finals and who do you think will make it to the final?
I think, insofar as India New Zealand is concerned, I think India should easily go through. New Zealand, we've seen in the last 5 matches, they've struggled. Apart from the last match against Sri Lanka, where they knocked off the runs in less than 25. Sri Lanka is a weak team. They didn't really have a great tournament. They've had issues with their board. Now they're suspended. So all of those factors played in. Otherwise, they lost 4 on the trot. And so, I mean, given India's current form, I think India should easily get over New Zealand.
South Africa, Australia?
Australia is concerned. The heart says South Africa, but I'm just backing Australia for their enormous comeback against Afghanistan, and they're back in it.
I think
I hope
I think if South Africa were to beat Australia, that would probably be the biggest win since they've come back into cricket. I would say.
Like I said, this is their best chance to avenge '99. Nothing like it.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you for being on the show, Umair.
Most welcome.
And everybody who's watching, if you like the video, please like the video. Subscribe to our channel. If you have a comment on what India should go with, what 11 India should go with, or what the semi-finalist predictions are, please leave a comment. And we'll be back on Tuesday afternoon with the semi-final preview. In the meantime, stay tuned to the shiny side.